Now at 11, a boy's deadly distraction. What kept him from noticing a train speeding towards him?
Trees on homes, debris still scattered. Tornado victims cry, where are the cleanup crews? How the city answers that tonight.
And the little-known condition killing women, being blamed on an overuse of C-sections.
Live from Studio 7E in Rockefeller Center, this is News 4 New York.
Good evening, everyone. Chuck is off tonight. Witnesses say an 8th grader never heard the train that took his life.
He was distracted by something so many people use, an iPod. The boy was just blocks from Hackensack Middle School when the train hit him. He was walking home at the time. Tom Yamas has late details.
The young man was walking in this direction northbound. The train was just behind him, but he couldn't hear the train nor the train horn because of the iPod. Now, even though he wasn't on the tracks, he was right along the railway, and when the train came by, it clipped his right shoulder, sending him flying into the street.
I just want to send my condolences to his family, you know, and my prayers is with them.
This young man could barely speak after witnessing a New Jersey Transit train hitting and killing a 12-year-old boy in Hackensack.
What I witnessed was a tragedy. You know, for that to happen to anybody, especially a young boy, you know, it's heartbreaking.
Investigators identified the victim as Caesar Maloki, an 8th grader at Hackensack Middle School. The accident happened along Railroad Avenue near High Street. Investigators say Maloki was walking right along the tracks when the train clipped him. He apparently never heard the train because he was listening to an iPod. Eyewitnesses say there was a car traveling in the opposite direction towards the boy. At one point, the boy stepped off, then back on the curb, losing his balance too close to the tracks. The accident temporarily shut down New Jersey Transit both ways on the Pascack Valley line between Essex Street and Spring Valley.
It's a tragedy. This is not the first kid here in Hackensack being killed by the train.
Hackensack resident Linda Foster has lived across the tracks for 15 years and says accidents like these are going to happen with no barricades keeping people away from the fast-moving trains.
Conductor has actually stopped the train here and got off to chase kids. And they've actually asked, do you know these kids? But it's a shame because they've been doing it for years.
New Jersey Transit says the train's engineer did apply the emergency brake, but it was too late because the train was going too fast. In Hackensack, Tom Yamas, News 4 New York.
No calm after the storm. Tornado victims in Queens and Brooklyn say they've asked for help with all the damage done, but there's no fix in sight. Andrew Siff is live in Forest Hills. Andrew, how many homes are we talking about now?
Well, David, let's look at it this way. 16,000 storm-related calls to the city's 311 line between Thursday and Sunday, and 7,000 of those calls had to do with trees, either a limb or a trunk down on a house or a car. That's a lot of calls, and the city says it's working as fast as it can to clean things up.
We want to know when the city's going to show up in our area.
A simple question, but no easy answers for people who still have a tree on their house or on their car or on their sidewalk. As one official put it, Forest Hills has lost its forest.
How do we know it's a disaster beyond their capability?
FEMA's Lynn Canton will lead a team of federal inspectors through storm-damaged neighborhoods on Wednesday. If the tornado did more than $25 million worth of damage, some residents can get some money back, even if they don't have insurance. But, cautions the city's top emergency management official,
well, it's not a slam dunk, so we're going to have to go through it. There are lots of things that FEMA accept and do not.
What college student Natalie Rojas of Flushing finds unacceptable, there are still giant limbs on her family's house 5 days after the tornado, and still no power.
It's frustrating and it's stressful, and I'm hungry and there's nothing to cook, so I gotta go eat out. I can't even charge my phone. I have to go to my school to charge my phone.
And her neighbor says some of the damage could have been minimized if New York kept a closer eye on trees before storms.
The city don't take care of these trees. I put in a complaint 5 years ago, for them to trim the tree that was over my house. It was bigger than this. It went further, like up to my chimney.
Now, the Parks Department says it is trying to take care of the trees just as fast as it can. Parks Commissioner Adrian Benepe in a statement tonight said that tens of thousands of trees were knocked down in the tornado. Hundreds of streets were closed. Almost all of them have been reopened, but it could be weeks still before everything is cleaned up. We're live in Forest Hills tonight. Andrew Siff, News 4 New York.
Andrew, thank you. New York Mets pitcher Francisco K-Rod Rodriguez is expected to turn himself into police tomorrow to face charges that he violated a restraining order. Rodriguez will be arraigned on criminal contempt charges for allegedly sending text messages to his girlfriend. He had been ordered not to communicate with her. The Mets closer is already facing assault charges for allegedly punching his girlfriend's father at Citi Field last month.
Sue, more money woes for New York City tonight as Mayor Bloomberg calls for an immediate hiring freeze and another round of budget cuts. The mayor's looking to slash the city's already lean budget by a total of $2 billion. The police department, the fire department, school system have been ordered to trim 2.7% from their budgets, while all other agencies are being asked to cut double that. In Brooklyn, it was their turn to weigh in on the proposed MTA fare hike tonight. Strap hangers sounded off in Park Slope. This was the 9th and final stop on the MTA's public hearing tour. Officials say despite public opposition, fares and tolls will rise to help close a huge budget gap. One plan calls for an unlimited 30-day card to cost $104. A final vote is set for next month.
A year-long fight to build an affordable housing project on Long Island hit its snag tonight, and the decision made a standing room only crowd go wild. Katie Tur reports.
Uncle John! Local people! Uncle John! Local people!
You could see it on their faces and hear it in their voices. Those opposed to the Avalon Bay Huntington Station apartment complex, the hundreds who showed up for the city council vote, knew they had won.
Resolution is defeated.
The outcome, 2 in support, 3 opposed. The sprawling 490-unit development to be built in this wooded area just behind the Huntington LIRR stop did not get the change in zoning laws it needed to go forward. No to making the area a transit-oriented development.
I believe that this is something that Huntington Station truly needs at this point in time. I believe it would have been a really good economic development piece.
Its supporters, who argued that Huntington needed more affordable housing, not to mention the jobs and tax revenue that would come along with it, were just as telling in their reaction, or lack thereof.
This was one big chance that we had to really put $100 million into the community.
Ultimately, people like Matt Harris, who created the Facebook page Say No to Avalon Bay, walked out of the meeting in victorious spirits.
We have the majority of the high-density housing, and they wanted to put in a lot more.
The key component in this entire decision was really the school board. When the school board announced they would not support the project, Councilman Mark Cuthbertson, the swing vote in this, also announced that he would no longer vote yes. In Huntington, Katie Tur, News 4 New York.
Now to a developing story in the race for governor in New York. The New York Post is reporting that Mayor Bloomberg will endorse Democrat Andrew Cuomo possibly as early as tomorrow. Cuomo still holds a double-digit lead over Republican Carl Palladino in the polls, but the Post reports that the announcement may be designed to overshadow new numbers due out tomorrow.
The Port Authority says it will spend $1 billion to make key upgrades on the Bayonne Bridge. The money will go towards fixing the bridge's so-called height problem, an issue that will become critical in 2015 when the Panama Canal begins accommodating larger vessels. Those vessels would be too tall to pass under the Bayonne Bridge as it is now. Today, Governor Christie said improving the bridge ensures the shipping industry will remain a vital part of New Jersey's economy.
President Obama arrives in the city tomorrow, and on Thursday, both Mr. Obama and Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad will be speaking before the UN. Well, that was gridlock in Midtown Manhattan today, thanks to all the security surrounding the UN General Assembly, and it could be about to get worse. The heightened security is costing the city an estimated $5 to $7 million.
Still ahead, the nation's top experts come together with one common cause: getting rid of bed bugs.
We'll tell you what they're doing, plus this.
Dozens and dozens of women are dying from a little-known condition, and one doctor blames the overuse of C-sections. We'll take a look.
They call themselves the baddest marching band here in Brooklyn, and they have the resume to back it up. But soon funding could be putting an end to their performance. I'm DeMarco Morgan with how you can help coming up.
The debate over cesarean versus natural birth goes back generations. But tonight, one local mother has a warning for expectant parents about a little-known condition that can be deadly. Linda Beccaro reports that condition is becoming more prevalent in our area.
For most women, pregnancy is a time of joy. But for this New Jersey mom of 4, her most recent pregnancy turned terrifying after a mid-term sonogram.
The diagnosis was complete previa and placenta precreta. It was something I'd never heard of, I didn't know could happen to a person, and it was very scary. You read about women who can die from it.
We have lost a lot of mothers in the state of New Jersey from accreta.
The doctor says about 40 women died last year in New Jersey as a result of accreta. Jenny, who doesn't want her last name reported, had 3 prior cesarean section deliveries, which put her at risk. She was diagnosed with the most serious type called placenta precreta. That's when the placenta attaches itself abnormally deep into the uterine wall.
The moment you try to put a clamp in it, it rips and they bleed. And hemorrhage is the major problem that people have with placenta accreta.
I found a support group online, which was great, because it was a lot of women who had already been on my side and were now on the other side, so that they could assure me that, hey, you know what, you're not necessarily going to die from this.
Dr. Al-Khan says he's seeing more and more cases of this potentially deadly condition, and he blames the continued rise in the number of C-sections.
If we don't do anything about decreasing cesarean section rates in this country, we are going to have a lot of mothers who are going to lose their lives.
I would just say that if you haven't given yourself a chance at labor, I would.
Dr. Al-Khan delivered Jenny's baby safely 3 months ago, and although she suffers some discomfort, she's grateful to be alive.
I feel great. He's great, I'm great. So everything worked out well, thank goodness.
And now she wants her case to be a warning for other moms. In Hackensack, Linda Beccaro, News 4 New York.
Linda's story started when someone pointed out this dangerous trend in New Jersey. If you have a story idea for us, email tips@nbcnewyork.com. You'll find a link at the top of our homepage.
The police department wants help in identifying an accident victim with memory loss. The victim was riding his bike about 3 weeks ago in the Bronx when he hit a pillar supporting elevated subway tracks. He's now in St. Barnabas Hospital recovering. He's described as Hispanic, in his early 30s, about 5'6". Anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-577-TIPS.
Well, we know by now there's a bed bug epidemic here, and the critters are infesting many other cities nationwide. That's why some of the nation's greatest minds are now scratching their heads over bed bugs in Chicago this week at the first large-scale bed bug summit in the U.S. Entomologists from top universities, including Yale and Cornell, are taking part. Top medical experts and extermination teams are sharing the best-known information on infestations to date. They're also showing off possible tools and solutions.
Well, they've captured the hearts of millions with their show-stopping moves and unforgettable tunes. But tonight, the Brooklyn group of students who make up the Soul Tigers marching band need your help. DeMarco Morgan reports.
At every command, loud and clear, Brooklyn's very own Soul Tigers marching band here at IS 292 are not to be underestimated when it comes to their smarts, talents, and of course their high-stepping techniques.
Of course, best band in Brooklyn, can nobody touch us.
But drum major Edwin Figueroa knows that without the proper funding, the internationally renowned marching band could take a mighty blow to its program.
Without the funding, you can no longer continue the program. There's always things needed, new drums, new sticks, new heads. Without that, there's no band.
Budget cuts across the state and city, according to band director Kenyatta Hughes, are now putting the program at risk. A group of more than 100 students with only 30 uniforms to work with.
Well, that means that we have no instructors to teach the kids. And that to keep the program going, I would have to teach all components of the marching band.
Wow. Now, it's about more than just dancing and the beats to go along with it. The band keeps most of these kids off the streets.
Before I came to this band, I was constantly getting in trouble.
East New York is, if you watch the news, you see something's always happening here.
The band recently traveled to Africa, has led the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and has performed with Jessica Simpson, just to name a few. Now they are in dire need of funding, volunteers, and uniforms to keep the program up and marching.
I feel like if we can keep 125, 100 30 kids off the street with the marching band. Why not, support this program and keep it running by any means necessary?
Students are hoping someone watching will join in on the beat, lending a helping hand. DeMarco Morgan at News 4 New York.
If you'd like to help the group, go to NBCNewYork.com and search Soul Tigers.
New Yorkers gathered at a gala tonight in Midtown to celebrate a group of young adults realizing their dreams thanks to a local not-for-profit. The organization New Yorkers for Children raises money to help kids transitioning out of foster care become successful, self-sufficient adults. The funds help provide college scholarships and cover the cost of living expenses, books, and tutors for thousands of foster children.
Let's turn to Janice now with the weather.
I don't know if you noticed, there was a Kanye West sighting there.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, he was in the crowd. I was actually there tonight, so yes, he was there. His girlfriend Salita was the host tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, the model Salita. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
of course.
Ebanks. Yes, she was there.
Right.
It was quite the night, and yes, weather-wise, also quite the night too. Nice and mild out. Winds are out of the southwest, so that's going to keep it mild across the area for the rest of tonight and help the temperature soar tomorrow into the 80s for the last full day of summer. Here's a look outside right now from our Top of the Rock camera. Clear tonight as the view is beautiful out there. 65 degrees is the temperature. We're not expecting it to drop too much lower than where it is right now due to that southwest wind. On the other hand, we're looking at tropics now on the tropical update. And Lisa, tropical storm, is stationary just off the African coast. Top winds 45 miles per hour. So it's not moving very much. We're not too worried about it. It's no threat to land. This tropical wave, though, over the Caribbean will start moving more westward. So that has about a 50% chance of strengthening to a tropical depression or a tropical storm in the next couple of days. Our high today, 74. It'll be 10 degrees warmer at least tomorrow. 54 was our morning low. So the cool nights are going to slide away after tonight for some very warm days. 60s and 50s on the map from Poughkeepsie to Sussex to Islip and Bridgeport, 61 in Belmar. And back to the west, we see more warm air. Detroit is 79 degrees right now. It's 75 in Columbus, Ohio, and 77 in Erie. And all that warm air surges in our direction for tomorrow on the heels of the southwest wind. This cold front is creating some thunderstorms tonight. A big difference in the air masses there. Temperatures much cooler behind it, some 15 to 20 degrees. And that front's coming our way tomorrow, and it gets close to us tomorrow evening. And it looks like it will produce some thunderstorms in the area around 7, 8 o'clock. Now, as these drift southward at 7 o'clock, we'll see some showers in and around the city. And across central New Jersey, we could be looking at some strong storms about 8:30. We'll be watching that as it moves eastward tomorrow night. Everything should clear out, though, by midnight. And hopefully we won't see any severe weather, but we'll let you know tomorrow as the time gets closer and we get more information from our forecast models. In the meantime, Thursday is the first full day of fall, but it's not going to feel like it. The temperatures will stay in the 80s, close to 90 through Friday. 85 tomorrow, 83 on Thursday, 88 on Friday. Then it starts to get a little bit better and cools off. Saturday is great, 78. Sunday, some clouds, turns cooler at 70, and some spot showers here and there Monday and Tuesday. And that's a check of your weather.
Thank you, Janice. Sure. Well, still ahead, how you can own Princess Diana's diamonds.
Plus a change for the MTA, and the agency hopes it will pay off big.
And straight ahead here on this fine program, the two teams in the American League East going at it again up in the Bronx. The Bombers hoping to put a little room between themselves and Tampa. Plus, the Jets hand down punishment for Braylon Edwards after his DWI arrest. You may be shocked at the penalty. We'll see you later on in sports on News 4 New York at 11.
The MTA has unveiled its latest plan to boost revenue. Starting today, subways and LIRR trains will run video ads. Commuters got their first look at the ads on the 42nd Street shuttle. Officials will consider extending the LIRR program by the end of its 3-month trial if it's deemed successful.
Auction goers will soon be able to own a piece of jewelry that once belonged to the late Princess Diana. Guernsey's auction house is putting part of the Swan Lake collection up for sale this Friday. A diamond and pearl necklace is believed to be the last piece of jewelry worn by Diana. Also being sold, a pair of earrings that were completed shortly before she died.
We'll be right back with Scott Stanford and sports.
The Verizon Fios Sports Desk is brought to you by Verizon Fios. It's time for New York's highest rated TV and internet service. It's time for Fios.
Scott's here now. The Yankees have a chance to do some damage tonight.
Looking to do some pulling away there, Dave. You know, the Yankees were looking to follow up last night's terrific George Steinbrenner tribute and win over the Rays with another victory against Tampa tonight. And in the process, add a little pad to that game-and-a-half lead in the American League East. Let's go bottom one. I'm swishing on a star. Rolls Royce, right? Nick Swisher jumps all over James Shields for his 27th homer. Yankees batted around in the first, scored 5 times. They're leading the East now up to 2.5 games. Phil Hughes wins number 17, 8-3 was your final. Mets fans, your boys losing Florida 5-2. They are officially out of playoff contention.
Oh, no.
They're gone. Okay, several people asking me after Braylon Edwards was arrested and charged with DWI today. Hey, Scott, what do you think will happen to Edwards? Does he get cut, suspended a few games, what? Well, we have our answer tonight, as the Jets have said Edwards will indeed suit up and play in Miami on Sunday. His punishment, he won't start. Gangrene really laying down the hammer on this one, huh? It was originally Edwards' overly tinted windows that got him pulled over at around 5 o'clock this morning. He was on the west side. Authorities then say they smelled alcohol. Had Edwards take a breathalyzer and his blood alcohol level was at 0.16, twice the state's legal limit. Edwards had 4 other passengers in the car, including teammates DeBrickashaw Ferguson and Vernon Golston. He spent the day in police custody, was arraigned this afternoon. Here's his attorney, Peter Frankel.
Without question, absolutely. He understands the seriousness of the situation, and he is committed to getting back on the football field and doing what he does best for the Jets. You know what, the only thing I can really comment on is the fact that he's very anxious to get back to the Jets. That's where he's headed. He wants to be with his teammates. He wants to speak to his coach, and he wants to get back on the football field. Obviously very difficult for him. He's just anxious to get back to the Jets, to the organization. That's what's been exclusively on his mind. That's what he's been talking about, and that's where he's headed right now.
Did I mention his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit? Now, driving that SUV in that condition, just as dangerous as carrying an unlicensed gun. See Plaxico. Fortunately for Edwards, police stopped him before his metaphoric gun went off and killed or seriously injured himself, the people in his car, or someone else on the road. And the team punishment for this is that he doesn't start. That's the penalty for missing a team meeting or showing up late to practice. Edwards should have known better, as Dante Stallworth, his then teammate in Cleveland in 2009, killed a pedestrian while driving drunk. Now, once the law takes its course, Edwards could be suspended by the league. I really think the Jets rather dropped the ball on this one. You know, it's kind of like if I got a DWI and management said to me, well, we're not going to let you do the 6 o'clock, but you can suit up for the 11. It's okay. Nobody ever has to take responsibility. I think they really dropped the ball on that one.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, guys.
It is time now to see what Jimmy Fallon has coming up on Late Night at 12:30.
Hey, Sue and David. I've got charades with Tina Fey, Colin Hanks, music by Robert Plant, Band of Joy, plus shout-out, pros and cons tonight after Jay. Please watch.
That will do it for News for New York at 11. The Tonight Show is next. Jay has Ed Helms, Casey Affleck, and Sheryl Crow tonight.
Wake up with Today in New York at 4:30. Good night.